Introduction. Hello and welcome. If you're a fan of deep, complex video games, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving into a game that many, especially veterans of the genre, consider the Himalaya of open-world RPGs. Fallout: New Vegas. With an overwhelming 94% positive rating from over 229,000 reviews on Steam, its legacy is undeniable. There are countless reasons to admire this masterpiece, though perhaps not its graphics. To do it justice would take a small booklet, so today we're focusing on one specific aspect that makes it truly special: its masterful use of interlocking systems. This will be a six-part series exploring how Fallout: New Vegas creates a truly dynamic and reactive world. So, let's get started. Day 1. What are interlocking systems? So, what exactly are interlocking systems? Simply put, it means the different mechanics of a game don't just exist on their own, they meaningfully interact with and influence one another. In her 2016 GCAP talk, Systems Are Everywhere, designer Alicia Leidacker described it as creating systems that are linked and influence each other. This might sound obvious, but it's something even experienced development teams struggle with. Think about the cryopod perk system in Mass Effect, Andromeda, or the Gwent card game in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. While Gwent is fantastic, it exists largely separate from your main journey as Geralt. Another example is the naval combat in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. These are often enjoyable features, but they are relatively isolated from the core experience. Now, you might argue that some isolated systems are good enough to improve the game overall, and that's a fair point. As a game designer, you have to weigh your resources, your goals, and make those tough choices. But when systems do connect, the result can be magical. And Fallout: New Vegas is a masterclass in this design philosophy. Day 2. Faction reputation and world reactivity. So, what's a great example of this interlockedness I'm so excited about? My absolute favorite is the faction reputation system. This system is brilliant because it connects directly to two other major parts of the game: the world's reaction to you and how you solve quests. Your alignment with a faction dramatically changes the world. For instance, if you side with the people of Goodsprings in the game's opening quests, you'll be locked out of quest lines for the Powder Gangers. You can try to walk a middle ground, but it requires careful navigation. Even then, the tension between the factions remains, making the world feel authentic and grounded. This creates a powerful sense of being part of the world. You poke it, and it pokes back. This back and forth makes the world of the Mojave Wasteland feel alive. When your choices lead to one of the game's major endings, you feel the weight of that change. It gives the player what we now call agency. Furthermore, your faction alignment can open up unique ways to complete quests. The faction disguise mechanic, for example, allows you to slip past enemies or gain access to restricted areas without firing a single shot. This is a perfect example of systems working together to create a vivid, reactive world where your choices genuinely matter. Day 3. Skill checks in dialogue. Let's continue our journey. Today, we're talking about skill checks in dialogue. This is another area where Fallout: New Vegas truly shines. By investing points into skills like science, speech, barter, or even explosives, you unlock new dialogue options. Passing these skill checks can open up entirely new solutions to quests. This is different from the faction disguise system we just discussed. A faction disguise is an immediate choice. You put on the armor and it works. Skills, on the other hand, require a long-term investment. Most players build their skills for tangible benefits like combat or exploration. You don't typically level up your explosive skill just to unlock a new line of dialogue. So when that opportunity does appear, it's a pleasant surprise. Suddenly, your specialized knowledge becomes useful in a way you never expected. As Jesse Schell writes in The Art of Game Design, A Book of Lenses, pleasant surprises are a powerful tool for increasing player enjoyment. These skill checks act as a small reward for your dedication, making you feel smart and strategic. It encourages you to wonder, what would have happened if I had a higher energy weapons skill? This temptation to explore different paths is a huge driver of replayability. This design isn't unique to New Vegas. The critically acclaimed Disco Elysium takes this concept to a whole new level, where the interplay between skills and dialogue forms the very backbone of its gameplay. But Fallout, New Vegas demonstrates how this single connection between skills, dialogue, and quests can enrich the player experience far more than just adding more content. Day 4. VATS, Weapons and Enemies. Next up, let's talk about VATS, the Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System. As someone who loves turn-based combat, VATS was a dream come true for me. VATS allows you to pause the action and queue up targeted attacks using action points, or AP. The cost of these attacks depends on your weapon, and your chance to hit is determined by your skill, the distance to the target, and which body part you're aiming for. It offers a slower, more tactical alternative to the game's real-time combat. This creates a fundamental strategic choice for the player. Do you build your character for real-time combat, or for VATS? A VATS build requires high perception and agility stats. You'll also want to modify your weapons with scopes to improve accuracy and seek out perks like Gunslinger, Commando, and Sniper to maximize your effectiveness. It's a beautiful web of interconnected systems. This choice also extends to how you handle different enemies. The dreaded Deathclaw, for instance, is incredibly fast and powerful. A well-built VATS character can target its weak points and take it down with precision. On the other hand, when facing a swarm of fast-moving cazadores, you might be better off using real-time combat to hit their wings and conserve your AP. The VATS system provides incredible flexibility, allowing players to tailor their combat style to their preferences and the challenges they face. Day 5. Economy, Crafting, and Exploration. You might be surprised to hear it, but Fallout, New Vegas has a robust and meaningful economy. In most games, the economy is just a way to manage resources. In New Vegas, it's a core part of the experience. This is most obvious with ammunition. Ammo is scarce, especially on higher difficulties and in hardcore mode. This scarcity forces you to make tough decisions. Do you use your precious bullets in combat, or do you break them down at a reloading bench to craft the specific ammo you need? Good resource management is not just helpful, it's essential for survival. This creates a fascinating series of trade-offs. You can use your ammo, sell it for caps, or recycle it for crafting components. It's a constant balancing act that elevates immersion. Furthermore, many essential crafting materials, like a Braxo cleaner or golden gecko hides, are found in specific locations or hidden away in containers. This directly encourages exploration. You aren't just wandering the wasteland, you're actively scavenging with a purpose. Finding that last component you need feels like a genuine victory. These three systems, economy, crafting, and exploration, feed into each other perfectly. Scarcity drives exploration. Exploration yields materials for crafting. Crafting gives you better gear, which allows for more effective exploration and combat, earning you more caps to fuel the cycle. It's a deeply rewarding loop that pulls you headfirst into this post-apocalyptic world. Day 6. The Endings Web and Wrap-Up. We've reached the end of our journey. Today, we'll wrap things up by looking at how all these systems come together in the game's branching endings. The main quest lines siding with the NCR, Caesar's Legion, Mr. House, or the independent Yes Man are the ultimate culmination of every choice you've made. Your faction reputation can lock you out of entire endings or open up unique paths. The final outcome of the battle for Hoover Dam is directly shaped by the quests you completed, the dialogue checks you passed, and the places you explored. Every system we've discussed feeds into this narrative climax, giving you a profound sense of ownership over the fate of the Mojave Wasteland. So what's the key takeaway from all this? First, design systems that don't just stand alone, but actively interplay with one another. Think in terms of relationships, not just features. And finally, design for depth by appealing to the player's mind, their reflexes, and their curiosity. Of course, this is just my take. I'm sure there's much more to discuss. Thank you for listening.